morning, afternoon, or evening, depending upon when you are watching this video. Welcome to the Summer 2014 online course, Abnormal Psychology. My name is Dr. Shannon DeClute. I am the instructor of record for this particular class, and this video is just to introduce you to myself, the course, and give you a couple of helpful hints to hopefully make your time here in online abnormal psychology successful. So first, I want to sort of briefly introduce this idea of abnormal psychology. It is the field of psychology that deals primarily with mental illness. So we look at sort of how mental illness is created, how do we diagnose it, what are the symptoms associated with it, how do we treat mental illness, and hopefully you'll also explore the idea of how does the general public think about mental illness and what can we do to improve sort of that general idea about it. So that's sort of what the course is. As I said before, my name is Dr. Shannon DeClute. Most of my students actually call me Dr. D. I think that's how I introduced myself to you about a month ago when I sent you the first email. You can address me any way you want. I'm not really particular about it. But I want to give you a little bit of background about why I'm teaching this course. So I have a PhD in counseling psychology. So prior to coming to Morningside about 2 years ago, I actually worked as a clinician. I worked as a clinician in lots of different fields. So I worked in college counseling centers, working with college students. I worked in community mental health, dealing primarily with people who had Medicare, Medicaid, or financial issues, but also dealing with severe mental illness with those scenarios. I have worked in private practice for a forensic psychologist, which means that anytime the court system needs an evaluation of somebody for some reason, they call a forensic psychologist when we do evaluations. I've also worked for the government, helping with Social Security disability examinations, so diagnosing people based upon assessments. So I have a pretty wide background in terms of the things that I've done, and as I sort of plan my courses, I use that background to sort of inform what's important in the public. So the idea behind this course is not that you're going to walk away and you're going to be able to diagnose people, even though you're going to be very tempted every time you read about a diagnosis to say, hey, that's my Uncle Joey, or hey, that's my friend Susie. Be very, very careful. Don't diagnose other people. And sadly, we often try to diagnose ourselves as we go through this course. Don't diagnose yourself either. However, after completing this course, you should have some pretty basic knowledge so that if people do have questions about mental illness, you should be able to serve as a nice resource for your friends and family. Just don't play shrink. Don't diagnose them. So that's a little bit of background about who I am and sort of what this course is. This is an online course, which is different from what I usually teach. I usually teach semester courses, which are 16 weeks long. The online course is only 8 weeks long. So it is the exact amount of content. I don't leave out any content, but you have half the amount of time to learn it, which means this course moves twice as fast as any semester course. So if you've never taken an online course before, be prepared to work. Oftentimes students think, oh, it's an online class, it's a summer class, no problem, I'll have all the time in the world. Do not underestimate the amount of time it will take you to read the material, complete the assignments, prepare for the examinations, and to take them. You have to be very disciplined when you're taking an online course because you have to plan time in your schedule every single week, multiple times, to be working on this course. So I recommend that you actually plan time that's like, this is abnormal psychology time. So Monday from 9 a.m. to noon, I'm going to work on abnormal psychology. And then on Tuesday from this time to this time. Plan those times accordingly. For my part, I've done my best to organize the course so that you can plan out your schedule and plan your days, plan your weeks so that you can be very successful. A couple things I want to talk about to help you with that success. If you don't have the textbook yet, get the textbook. It is day one of the class, so get that textbook right now. This is the hard copy. I have recommended that the class get the e-text simply because it's a lot cheaper. Frankly, I don't care whether you have an e-text or whether you have a hard copy. I went with the e-text to save you guys some money. So you do need this particular textbook. You also need to make sure that it's the 3rd edition. Sometimes you can have previous editions and it's okay. It is not okay in this case because the way we diagnose some mental illness just changed 1 year ago. So you have to have the recent new 3rd edition in order to make it work in this class. In addition, you also need to have access to the online component that goes with this book. It's called My Psych Lab. Those of you who took General Psych here at Morningside, you're probably familiar with the My Psych Lab components. This is something very similar. It's just for abnormal psychology instead of general psychology. So if you get your textbook from somebody else, you will have to pay for the access code separately. If you get your textbook from the bookstore, it is all bundled together. So those are sort of some helpful tips to help you out. Now I know that you guys can't see this screen very well, but I do want to show you that we do have a Moodle page. All of you should be on this Moodle page at this point in time. The Moodle page is set up based upon weeks. So the very first part of the Moodle page is just general information about the class, and then it's week by week. So June 2nd, starting with the Monday, through June 8th, ending with a Sunday. Every assignment that goes under that week will be in that box. So that's how I have it set up for you guys. On the right side of the screen are little check boxes so that you can kind of keep tabs and say, I've done these things. That's there for you. I don't care if you use them or not. It's just a way for you to sort of organize the things you need to do. So what do you need to do right now if you've got the textbook and if you're in My Psych Lab? You need to go to our Moodle page and you will see that there's a syllabus posted. You need to read through that syllabus, make sure you understand it. There's also the calendar of assignments. Every assignment for this class and their due dates are on that calendar. Read through it, make plans accordingly based upon your own summer schedule. And then if you haven't already, get logged into My Psych Lab. There is a handout on our Moodle page that explains how to register for My Psych Lab. There's already 3 people in class that are registered for it, so good job to those guys. They're already ahead of the curve. You want to make sure you get in there and you want to make sure you start exploring all that content because there's a couple assignments that you can only do on My Psych Lab that are required for the class. Don't wait until those assignments are due and then go, oh my gosh, I have no idea how to get in. This is the time to get in, this is the time to do that. This week, your very first assignments are already posted up on Moodle. There's a checklist here of things that I want you to do in order to prepare for the class. Look at this, read this, see this, post this. And then there's actually a quiz called the Course Preparation Quiz that you need to take. 25 questions that says, yep, I understand the class, I understand the policies, and I'm ready to go. You can take that quiz as many times as you want to, up until Wednesday at midnight. In order to get credit for that quiz, you need to get a 100%, because that means you have done everything and you're ready to go for this class. Then as we go through, I will start posting, starting today and moving in through these next weeks, all the assignments, all the rubrics, all the instruction sheets for everything for the class. So all of those are coming, don't worry. If you have questions, make sure you shoot me an email and you kind of let me know, checking my time here, my goal is to be under 10 minutes, kind of let me know sort of what those questions are. If you have some personal issues that you want to make sure that I'm aware of, then shoot me an email and I will be sure to respond to you. One more thing that I want to talk about before we end for today. Some of you might already know if you know me. There's a couple students who know me. But I'm actually 8 months pregnant right now as the course is starting. Pregnancy is kind of unpredictable, and we are working with a pretty tight timeline this summer. My due date is actually June 26th, or excuse me, it's July 26th. The course ends July 25th. So my hope is that I will be able to finish out this course with you. However, we have planned accordingly in case I go into early labor. So if I do, the contingency plan is that Dr. Jessica Ployce, she's another psychologist here at Morningside, she is actually going to be taking over the class for me. So she's prepped, she's ready to go, she knows what she needs to do. So if any time you get an email from Dr. Ployce, what that means is that I'm busy taking care of some other stuff, and she's going to take over either for a while or she's going to go ahead and finish the course off, depending upon what the situation is. So I do want to be upfront about that so that there's no questions. Typically I will respond to you very quickly, but if there's ever a time that I'm not responding to you, it might be because I'm sort of dealing with some other issues. I think that's it. I really recommend, since I'm super accessible right now, get into a rhythm of the course, get used to the course, know what you need to do, because this is the time to be asking me questions, this is the time to sort of get all those bugs worked out, and then it should just be smooth sailing from this point on. So welcome to Abnormal Psychology. I hope that you have a great summer learning about this stuff and that you feel like you really grow from this experience. And I look forward to hearing more from you as I'm asking everybody to introduce themselves to the class as part of the newsfeed thread that's going through. So I think that's everything, and you will see more videos from me as the semester, as the summer progresses.